Hello everyone, it's me, On God. Today we're gonna talk a little bit more about the Warframe. Dagath Doom. Yes. Her Doom. A skill that at the base it don't seem to be that useful, but it is actually more powerful than you might think it is. First I'm gonna explain the build I have here, that it is very high strength here, but that is not normally the useful amount for you to actually play the game. I did so much strength because one thing they're going to use is horror, and need to get this much strength to actually get it to 100%. So it's more easily to understand the effects of it. Normally it will be something like this here. 200 is already a good amount of number for this amount of damage reflection. Understand? And to this show here, I'm going to use Aka's Plasmor with no damage mods, only one for reloading. So it's a base damage of 600. And also a Snide Gammacor here. Let's configure all to have things to increase status, fire rate, and apply a lot of viral. That aside with the explanations, let's start this. I here into the Zanuka scenario here, and let's summon 10 heavy gunners and 10 bombards of level 220 in Steel Path. And there they are. Do you really need it? Delete it? No, but anyway, let's go. First Doom, as the name say, it redirects damage at dawn. Since now the game has changed and the armor of enemies is always capped at the maximum 9% reduction, my 600 damage becomes 60. Except when sometimes it gives a critical, it is consistent. Now if I apply Doom to it and attack it, the 60 gonna be another 60. So every time I attack it, another 60 gonna be redirected after 3 seconds or when heavy knocking, so the damage to actually kill the enemy. However, that's not the end of it, because we can actually increase this damage. Yes, even though the ability don't say anything about it and it's kept at 100% redirection, we can actually do more damage. And believe me or not, the first option to increase the damage of Doom is actually with us already. Checking your abilities, we have here Grave Spirit that increases critical damage on Doom enemies, and if you die while this is active, you're gonna get vulnerable for some time and have a chance to not die. But here it don't say that it actually increases the damage of Doom. As you saw many times, outdone by the enemy, I'm gonna take 60 back. However, if I have the Grave Spirit active, the 60 becomes 120, so it actually doubles the amount of damage. Don't know if the game thinks it's a critical, but that's one way to actually increase the damage of Doom. Just by having Grave Spirit, you already double the damage. One way to increase the damage of Doom, the game actually tips us into the tips. See that the Dagath with vital status, because I need to take more heavy damage from all sources, including Doom. So yes, if I take my Snide Gammacor, let's go deactivate the Grave Spirit to not interfere with the showcase. Let's try this again. I apply Vital, then curse it, the 225 becomes 1.1. So vital actually double. Increased 4 times the damage I was inserting. Wi-Fi becomes 1.1, so 4 times the damage that was initially put in, but that damage was already increased by viral 4 times. So that is a lot of extra damage out of nowhere. And of course the last option is Horror. On to 1 become 2, 4, 5, 4, 3. So it is doubling the damage. Don't seem much, but remember, this is not a skill. Now comes the big question, my friends. What happens when you use all 3 of them? Let's find out. Let's go. Grave Spirit, Horror, Vital, Doom. 130 becomes 8.8. It's going 16 times the damage. Yes, you heard me right. Oh yeah, Grave Spirit doubles it. Vital going to quadruple it in 2 times. And then Horror doubles everything. 400 become 8.8, and the more damage it is, the higher the damage goes out. So this is a way to increase a lot the damage you do it. So having the Doom at the 100% damage is not just an extra damage. With the Grave Spirit, it is 2 times the amount of damage you put in, and you have a high vital together. This is 8 times the damage you put in. So for every 1000 you put in, you get the extra 8000 back in. And this causes some very different interaction. Like we have this gammacor here that I showed before, that it was only to apply vital and nothing else. I can empty my entire magazine into this bombard that is close to that here. But as you can see, it is barely moving the health. He's not going to die anytime soon. However, if I use all the buffs, it's dead. And this one here, almost dead with a healthy magazine. But this weapon here has almost no damage, as you saw without any of the buffs. With just the horror, it barely scratch again the bombard. The combination of everything makes you extremely powerful. Just as I showed into the start of the video with the toroid, it makes almost any weapon very deadly. And of course, if you're taking weapons that are already overpowered, it makes them even more powerful. Just as that. Just a reminder, this is heavy and bombarded level 220 steel pack, and the damage is actually affected by armor. So if you do some war crime, is like losing everything as used before, but also removing the armor, even this humanoid becomes a war criminal, a war crime weapon. Anyway, let's go back and show you the original Toridi that I used before. This is the build. Splitty, Hammer, Critical, Serration, Vital Sense, Creo Hounds, Hammer Hounds, Magnificence. But this here don't matter actually. As you can see, there is no galvanized mod, so the hardest part of this weapon here is getting it. The focus is to actually apply a knock viral to increase the damage the weapon makes, and the Doom gonna makes later on and capitalize into the whole damage of it, especially into the Incarnate version. Incarnate just in base damage, project speed, and critical chance and critical status. Because if I actually change this to just critical, this go up, but this here become lower than 100% into the normal version and not too much into the secondary one. And I like it consistency into my stuff. And the reason why I don't have any galvanized and the arcane don't matter is because, as you're going to see right here, because what kills the enemies most of the time is the ability. It don't trigger the galvanized mods or the arcane, so they are not necessary. One good thing of it that it makes some weapons that are not deadly, very deadly and fun to use. You have my meme weapon, the Twin Cormac, focus on status with Empower. So the only special thing here is the Empower here. Because now armor is capped, this is actually pretty good now, especially for the low damage weapons here. That like my highest damage is hit or slash 55. This is gonna cause another damage of 750. So even if it is cut by to just 10% of the original damage, it's still going to be higher this one here. And again, no galvanized mod. This time this here matters, but the resting just for pure damage and more status chance. So every time we hit ability, it's going to cause damage and status and cause the arcane empower to actually triggers. Let's summon our friends here. Brave Spirit on. Forward. Doom. Spread it, and then let's go. I know it's not that impressive compared to the Torrid, but this is a meme weapon. If you try to do this without the Doom and the Horror and everything else, it's going to take so long to actually kill anything. The Horror, Doom, and actually go for headshot. Okay. And I'm also out of ammo. Now, just before I go, there is actually an argument for Dagath, but I really don't like it. It's the Spectral Spirit. Instead of it becoming a passive buff, when you use it, it becomes an active buff. I go Spectral mode where I am invincible directly, and every attack and skill that I use in this form is going to apply doom on enemies. So this is actually a way to save some of your energy, not need to actually casting everything. Now just by just attacking they become doomed. I tried to actually use with silence to see if he actually silences it as well, but since I have to attack him, it's actually going to put the doom on it. However, the cooldown when the skill is over is too long for me to actually enjoy it. I prefer if it was still a passive one and remove the revive. It just gave me a chance to cause doom, because the setup of doing the enemies most of the time is very expensive. But again, this is just outside of normal battle. Normally what I play is this one here, but I just need to put those back here. Normally is the version I using with the now strength to 85%, a good duration for it, and I was nourishing it to give me energy most of the time, so I can actually remove the equilibrium and maybe put more damage or anything else that I might need it. And my apple is normally a Toridi that has corrosive, cold, those galvanized mods, and the frostbite, because it is giving critical chance, critical damage, and multi-shot. And I must say that for most time it is actually pretty competent on its own. There is little need to actually use the skills. However, if you actually use it, it becomes even more. So this is great for the D3 Archimedean and other high content. However, I have a very bad news. You might think, oh, I'm gonna use this to those pesky enemies. No, you can't. Because some enemies, like the Juggernaut, our little Juggy, they actually have some tricks on their sleeve here. Not only they have a huge resistance, but they actually have resistance to the skill itself. Doesn't matter how much damage I do, it's never going above 500. $500. It never goes. They are resistant to abilities, so you can't use those into the most enemies that they are tricky. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's try to take one Nakamak. Really?